The Dolphins, along with Phil Simms. I'm Greg Gumbel. They are fired up here in Miami. Number one, it's a battle for first place, and number two, it's Jets week.
Yeah, these two teams, they do not like each other. And when the Miami Dolphins talk about the New York Jets, they talk about Curtis Martin. The Jets have built their offense around Curtis Martin. He is the number one running back in the National Football League. To stop him, the Dolphins have some problems. 3 key defensive players are out this game. Darrell Gardner has a back problem. Run stopper, he's out. Brian Walker, good pass defenders out, and maybe one of the best cover corners in the National Football League, Sam Madison's out. So the Dolphins, they have some problems.
Yeah, here in Miami, it's all about first place. It's a first place battle. They're well aware the Jets have won 7 in a row. We're back after this word from your local station.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
I put a spell on you because you're mine. I put a spell on you because you're mine, mine, mine. Oh, you're mine.
It's all about first place in the AFC East today. The New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins, and everyone gets their first look today at Santana Moss. Sidelined by a training camp knee injury, the Jets' #1 pick comes home to Miami for his NFL debut. That tells you what's at stake here today. Miami, the division leader at 6-2. The Jets a half step back at 6-3. And Herman Edwards making a name for himself in his first year as head man of the New York Jets. His opposite number on the other sideline is Dave Wannstedt, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, unbeaten as you see at home so far this season with a record of 3-0. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan, we are glad that you're joining us for this rematch of the game that took place earlier in the season up in New York, where the Jets came from behind in the second half to beat the Miami Dolphins for a 7th straight time. Dolphins say they've had quite enough of that, and we're underway. This is Chris Chambers from the 2-yard line for Miami. Hit at the 20, dragged down to the 25-yard line by Ray Mickens. A 23-yard return, and onto the field comes Jay Fiedler. Has led Miami to a 6-2 mark, but interceptions have been the problem for Fiedler so far this season.
Jay Fiedler this year making the big plays in the passing game, something they didn't do last year. Dave Wannstedt, it's driving him crazy, the turnovers for this football team. He started a new plan. Forget the first half of the season. We're only going to keep track of turnovers from here the rest of the season.
Lamar Smith, the lone back behind Fiedler, and now Conrad is in motion. The pitch for Smith, cuts it back. Boom! And Shane Burton makes the stop after a 1-yard gain.
Let's look at Miami's offensive line, what they've got to do, find a way to block better for the running game.
You saw the starting running backs, Smith and Conrad. Arondé Gadsden and James McKnight are the wideouts, and Hunter Goodwin is the tight end. There's Chan Gailey, offensive coordinator, has sent in the next play for the Dolphins, 2nd and 9. Lamar Smith, and Smith with running room across the 30 out to the 33-yard line. Steve Martin, Damian Robinson with the stop. The Jet defense has Ellis, Burton, Martin, and Abraham across the front.
The linebackers for the Jets have been playing very well. James Ferrier, number 58, having an outstanding season so far.
In the secondary, Glenn and Coleman on the corners. Damian Robinson, Victor Green are the safeties. Here's Ted Cottrell, defensive coordinator for the Jets. The Dolphins, second best in the NFL converting on third down. They're converting 46% of their tries. Off the double tight end setup, the give is to Smith, and Smith pulling forward to 35 for the first down.
Well, the one thing the Dolphins want to do, Greg, the one thing they will do, even though they have been not very good running the football, they will continue to keep plowing it up in there because they think it does a lot of good things for the team. Keeps third down short. That's why they're one of the best in the National Football League. But Lamar Smith, you just got to let it go. Dave Wannstedt thinks he's worrying too much about fumbling the football. When you do that as a player, it takes away some of your moves and creativity, and he just can't worry about it.
Here's the give to Smith on the fourth consecutive play, and this one he gets across the line of scrimmage and out to about the 39-yard line. Mo Lewis makes the stop. Let's go down to Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. If this game needed any more hype, Zach Thomas certainly supplied it this week. All the New York papers buzzing about the comments he made last month following that collapse in the Meadowlands, where he called both teams garbage and said the Jets, quote-unquote, sucked as much as Miami did that day. Well, we asked Vinny Testaverde about that last night. Not happy, calling them somewhat of a slap in the face, adding, there's no excuse for saying that about an opponent. So the Jets needed more help. They got it.
All right, Armin, thank you. On 2nd and 6, Fiedler to throw for the first time today. Going to go deep down the side. It is incomplete. He overthrew Oronde Gadsden. Let's go back to what Armin was talking about. And, you know, Vinny Testaverde, it did surprise us a little bit that he was taken aback by Zach's comments. But Zach Thomas, I thought he explained it very well. Well, first of all, are they going? Is Kevin Mawai going to hit me any harder because I said that? I don't think so.
You know, that might not be the point, though, Greg. We talked about it on the way over here today, and we think, well, it has no outcome or no bearing on the game. Maybe it's true, but would you like somebody to say things in the paper about you? So you do take it personal when you think of it from the other side, and that's what Vinny Testaverde was upset about.
3rd and 6. Fiedler had someone around his ankle, and that was John Abraham.
Well, you know who it's going to be, especially when it's a speed rush on the outside. John Abraham coming from Fiedler's right side. Here he is at the top, and this is his favorite move. And he gets held too. But what a job by John Abraham. He is one of the best running from the outside, rushing the passer in this league.
Chad Morton is deep for the punt from Matt Turk, who was just booming them in practice. Morton can let this one bounce. It bounces short and then goes back towards the Dolphin line of scrimmage. It's finally corralled at about the 29-yard line. All in all, it's only a 32-yard punt. Well, real game's a lot different from practice, isn't it? It is a gusty day, and we saw in pregame warm-ups the wind could have an effect down on the field. Vinny Testaverde, starting quarterback for the New York Jets, 5-0 against Miami as a Jet. You see his numbers from the 29-yard line. Fakes the pitch. The pass is complete up to the 35-yard line to Lavernius Coles. A pickup of 6, at least 2nd and 4.
Look at the Jets' offensive line. They've been together. J.P. Machado playing right guard today. But this line is physical, and as Zach Thomas said, they're nasty.
In the backfield, Anderson and Curtis Martin. Coles and Crabette, the wide receivers, look for some action from Santana Moss as the game progresses. Paul Hackett, offensive coordinator for the Jets, has Martin Malone back now with 2 tight ends. The give is to Martin, left side, changes direction, and is up close to a first down. The Miami defense is missing Daryl Gardner at tackle. Ernest Grant gets the start for him today, number 97.
Talked about it a little already, but the key for the linebackers of Miami, can they get away from the blocks of the offensive linemen to make tackles?
And in the secondary, Arturo Freeman starts for Brian Walker. Fletcher, the rookie, starts for Sam Madison. And onto the field now, Santana Moss has come onto the field to make his first appearance. As you look at Jim Bates, defensive coordinator for Miami. There is Moss, number 83. First-round draft pick, 16th selected overall out of Miami. motion at the top of the screen to give us to Martin. Martin with running room out to the 44, close to the 45-yard line. Derek Rogers made the stop after a 6-yard gain.
Well, Curtis Martin has so much success. One of the reasons why the Jets can run the ball against this Miami good front seven. You can see some of the good blocks as you watch that replay. But the New York Jets, talking to Zach Thomas and the defensive coaches for the Dolphins, the Jets have a versatile running game. They have sweeps, they toss it to the back, they run draws, they run counters, misdirections. So it's very complicated, and that's why they have success with it.
On 2nd and 4, straight ahead as they fake the end around to Santana Moss. It is Curtis Martin, the NFL's leading rusher, coming into the game today. And there is a look at Santana Moss, who has just been chomping at the bit, as they say, to get into the action since injuring a knee third day in training camp.
Well, for a guy that has no preseason snaps, missed all preseason, all the games, hasn't played this year, but both teams spent a lot of time talking about him this week and maybe the impact he could have on this football game.
Coles, Moss, and Corbett, the wide receivers. On the blitz, the pass out this side is overthrown, intended for Coles. And it'll be 4th down. Terry Cousin was blitzing from the far side.
Well, the Jets didn't care about that blitz because they knew Vinny Testaverde was going to move to the right. Look at the wind blowing the sleeves of Tom Tupa, so you can see it's strong on the field. Just trying to throw a short pass to pick up the 1st down. Testaverde threw it too high.
Jeff Ogden, who has had troubles holding on to the football, has 3 fumbles this season on punt returns. Some question about whether he would be replaced today. He is grabbing the first one that comes his way. No, he lets it roll. It bounces into the end zone, and the Dolphins will take over 1st down at their own 20-yard line. Tupa's 52-yard punt as we take a timeout.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Best Buy, for the latest technology, turn on the fun at Best Buy. And by Cadillac, the fusion of design and technology.
As you get a little glimpse of how Phil Simms warms up for a game on Sunday morning, you see Lavernius Coles, Santana Moss on the sideline. 1st down for the Dolphins, their own 20-yard line. And back to the ground game, Lamar Smith bowling his way out to the 25-yard line. Lots of questions and lots of discussion about Lamar Smith, who came in with a 2.9-yard average. Dave Wanstead says, doesn't matter, we're going to give him the football.
Going to keep giving it to him, but, you know, I thought it was interesting. Dave Wanstead said that Lamar missed some reads last week. In other words, there were some holes. He didn't see him, didn't get there. And I kind of relate it to a quarterback. When he throws interceptions, sometimes you get so consumed with not throwing an interception, you don't read the coverage right, and I think that's happened to Lamar Smith.
Lamar Smith gets the pitch and makes his way out to the 30-yard line where he has enough for a 1st down. Mo Lewis, Damian Robinson with the stop, and we check in with Armin.
Greg, just to punctuate that Lamar Smith point that Phil made, averaging only 2.2 yards per carry the last 4 games. 2 big fumbles in that Jets game that turned that game around. Lamar said in the papers yesterday, definitely frustrated, fighting to stay focused with an added burden. He's in the last year of a contract, and he remains far apart, he and his agent, with the team. So that's weighing on him as well. Back to you.
And Armin, there is no question that the performance of Travis Minor, continuing outstanding performance, weighs in heavily both with the Dolphins and Lamar Smith. 1st down. Smith again to the 33.
Well, when you watch this game today, when you see Jay Fiedler go to the line of scrimmage and he takes his time and he's calling out a play to the team, all he is doing is looking at the number of defenders that are near the line of scrimmage. If there's not a lot of them, he runs the football, and of course if the numbers are more than they can block, then they throw the football. So it's pretty simple. He has 2 plays. He calls them in the huddle. He determines if it's a run or a pass.
So far, it's 7 of 9 offensive plays have been on the run. Fiedler, quick pass. This side, that's complete. McKnight gets outside and reaches for a 1st down at the 42-yard line.
Well, we should count the screens that Miami throws. That's number 1 for today. And this is just a real simple one. What you do as an offensive team or coordinator, James McKnight makes the catch. Just get the football into the hands of guys who can make plays. And when you have plays like that, Chan Gailey, you design them. It's simple, but you give James McKnight, somebody who's fast and can make you miss on the tackle, you get cheap yards. And that's always what you want to try to accomplish as an offensive coordinator.
Jay Fiedler's first completion gets the first down. That wasn't exactly the prettiest spiral you will ever see, but it did get the job done.
Well, that's not the easiest throw in the world either, Greg. You would think that's pretty easy, but Fiedler, the key to that, he has to get it and get rid of it as fast as he can to give James McKnight a chance to run with it.
Wayne Crabette trotting off to the dressing room. He has had shoulder problems.
He's going to the bathroom.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
First down. And straight ahead is Travis Minor for little or no gain.
Now, the thing I want to see here today, a lot of talk, of course, in the papers in New York, and even the Miami Dolphins have talked about it a lot. The Jets defense, the last 3 games, they have been spectacular. The first 6, they were horrendous. And I want to see today they're facing a better offense than they have the last 3 weeks. Will it be real? Can they stop this Miami offense? Can they stop the running game like they have the last 3 weeks?
During that 3-game win streak, Jet defense has allowed just 28 points total and an average of 100 yards a game. On 2nd and 10, the give is to Smith trying the right side. And he's across the 45 to about the 46-yard line.
Now that's one of those plays I was telling you about, Greg. It was a runner, a pass, and the Jets, it's this simple. The Jets, both safeties were back here, but when Jay Fiedler made the check, this safety moved up, and all of a sudden the Jets have an extra guy up inside to help against the run. But when they're back, that's only 7 people in the middle. Jay Fiedler runs it. If he'd have snuck up a little earlier, he would have thrown a pass down the field.
Sounds like a mathematical game, Phil.
It's tricky. Everybody's trying to trick the other guy.
Travis Minor in the backfield, 3rd and 5, 4 wide receiver. Fiedler over the middle, has his man, first down yardage. James McKnight close to the 45-yard line of the New York Jets. 8 yards on the play, first down Miami.
Well, Greg, you talked about earlier, as Jay Fiedler, you can see the hole over the middle. McKnight does a good job of just sitting down, knowing how far he has to go for the first down. But we heard from the Indianapolis coach last week that really the Dolphins, they're good on 3rd down, but they have a lot of different plays, a lot of formations. They move it, screens, quarterback draw, short passes, and long ones. That's why they're good on 3rd down.
See if they go back to the ground game on first down. They do. Lamar Smith straight ahead inside the 40 to about the 39 or 38-yard line. Indianapolis and New Orleans down in Louisiana. Here's Jim Nance.
And how about this, Greg? First play of the game, Peyton Manning coming back home. The longest play in Manning's career, the longest for the Colts in 26 years. An 86-yard hookup with Marcus Pollard for the quick 7 for the Colts. And let's go back to Greg and Phil.
And how about a one-handed grab by Marcus Pollard?
What did Peyton Manning tell us last week? When they're out of division, their play-action fakes work a lot better against teams that hadn't seen it before.
Quick pass, far side, bobbled, it is intercepted. Aaron Glenn. Glenn on the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
Perfect throw by Jay Fiedler. Hits McKnight. Oh, it hit his face mask. You could see his helmet move from behind, and Aaron Glenn, a very instinctive player, plays aggressive, comes up and reacts, makes a nice interception for the touchdown.
Glenn's team-leading 5th interception of the season. He goes 60 yards, and the Jets are on the board.
Could you see McKnight's helmet go down as the ball hit his face mask?
John Hall's extra point try is good. So, a turn of events favoring the New York Jets. Aaron Glenn makes it happen for a 7-0 lead. Jets lead the league in takeaways. Their 14 fumble recoveries are tied for first in the NFL, and that was their 15th interception of the season.
You know, that, Greg, that is contagious. It's like, I don't know, it's like stealing the ball in basketball when you steal it. You just start getting that feeling about when to make that move at the right time, and the Jets, they got the fever when it comes to forcing those turnovers.
James McKnight on the sideline. And the Dolphins get the football back here. Chambers and J.J. Johnson are deep for John Hall's kick. It has quieted the crowd somewhat here at Pro Player Stadium. Chambers from the 5. 20. Spinning across the 25 and is down at about the 30-yard line. 3 minutes on the nose to play in the first quarter, and Aaron Glenn, his touchdown, has the Jets up 7.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sun America, the retirement specialist, and by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's.
Back at Pro Player Stadium, 3 minutes to play. Jay Fiedler has thrown his 13th interception of the season. He only threw 14 all last year.
Well, I asked Shane Gailey about those interceptions. He says, misleading, not true. You know, he's just been unlucky. And that had to be the most unluckiest interception I've seen in a long time.
Fiedler, play action, screen, that's complete. Lamar Smith turns it upfield out to the 33 or 34-yard line. And let's go back to the interception by Aaron Glenn.
Couple things. Watch the back of James McKnight's helmet. You'll see it hits his face mask. But look at the offensive linemen. They're downfield blocking. That is a run play by the Miami Dolphins. Only Jay Fiedler and James McKnight knew they were going to throw that. Aaron Glenn was back off of him. They have the option to throw it out there quick to the wide receiver. Jay Fiedler does. He did it. Well, and he was unlucky.
5 interceptions and a fumble recovery. Lamar Smith and Conrad in the backfield. On 2nd and 5, the give is to Smith. And Smith piled up at about the 46-yard line. And boy, you know, you can't blame these Miami Dolphins if they feel like they've been hexed over the last 7 meetings against these Jets. Look at the Jets outscoring them 27-19 during the winning streak.
Takeaways.
I put a spell on you.
Fourth quarter scoring, the Jets have been dominating. And, you know, of course, to back up all of this, Phil Simms singing in the background.
Because you're mine.
Phil Simms sings the blues from Miami.
I do.
Minute 40 to play in the first quarter. 3rd and 3. Jets defense has been on the field a long time. Quick pass out to the side. That's complete. Running room for McKnight. Out across the 45 and a first down. 9-yard pickup on the play. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Dolphins.
Well, let's see. I was going to try to count the screens today. That's number 3 in case you're, you know, clicking them up at home. But so inventive. James McKnight goes out there in motion, then comes back under 2 wide receivers. And the Dolphins do a very good job of going down the field, getting blocks, and giving the players a chance not just to pick up first downs, but to get a lot of extra yards after that.
You mentioned that Jet defense has been on the field a long time here in the first quarter. That'll tell you how long. Travis Minor now in motion as a 5th wide receiver. Quick pass to Minor out there.
Same play.
Midfield and into Jets territory at about the 49.
Now that's interesting. Same play, different personnel instead of James McKnight. Let's throw it to Travis Minor. He goes in motion. Nobody in the backfield. And this is what the Dolphins were curious to see. 3 wide receivers. Travis Minor back there too. He goes in motion. And you have the normal defense of the Jets in there. In other words, 3 linebackers, 4 defensive backs. How do you cover all that personnel? That time the Jets couldn't do it.
On 2nd and 4, Minor, right side, maybe a yard. Steve Martin, Mo Lewis make the stop as time winds down on the first quarter. So Dave Wanstadt's offense has had the football. 1 fumble pass led to Aaron Glenn returning it 60 yards for a touchdown. It's 7-0 Jets. We'll come back for the second quarter after this. We remind you, as always, you can log on to NFL.com, vote for the AFC and NFC All-Star teams to play in this year's Pro Bowl. Vote now at NFL.com or your AOL keyword, NFL.com. Getting ready to start the second quarter here at Pro Players Stadium. Jay Fiedler comes back onto the field. Dolphins have run 20 offensive plays in the first quarter compared to just 5 for the Jets. And you said it during a timeout, Jet defense is going to have to find a way to get off the field here.
Yeah, you gotta find a way, and it's tough. Look what you got. You got 3rd and short again, and you're going against the best team in the league at picking up these situations with talented players now at the wide receiver position.
Miami 3 out of 4 on 3rd down so far today. Fiedler from the shotgun throws this side. It's complete for a first down to Oronde Gadsden. Gadsden wrestled out of bounds at right about the Jet 40-yard line. That's an 8-yard pickup and a first down.
And this is one way to do it. It's the simplest of all. You get Oronde Gadsden against Marcus Coleman. Oronde Gadsden, one of the bigger wide receivers in the league, loves to use his body. So take advantage of that. Let him run down there short, push the defender off, get in good position, and you get an easy completion.
You saw Marcus Coleman slide a little bit on the coverage. The field is a little slippery. There was a college football game played here yesterday.
Could you say slide one more time for me?
Slide.
Yeah.
Give us to Smith. And Smith hit at the line of scrimmage by Shane Burton, number 98.
And he was a question mark today. Victor Green getting a little action down there. Hear the crowd getting excited.
Yeah, not that things get chippy between these two teams anyway, but we were talking about it during the timeout, Phil, that it's easy to downplay this 7-game winning streak, but the Miami Dolphins have been talking about it all week.
They talk about it. You saw the little thing we did, the jinx, and it is on the minds of the Dolphin players and coaches. If you think it's not, the Dolphins dominate the game up in New York the first half, 17-0, and Dave Wanstadt's speech at halftime is what? Hey, they've done this to us before. Let's don't let it happen this time. And you put that into the mind of the players, and it is absolutely on their minds as they play this game.
On 2nd and 8, Fiedler, all kinds of time, wide open over the middle, finds his tight end, Jed Weaver, and Weaver has a first down to the 25-yard line. Fiedler's 7th completion of the day.
Nice protection for Jay Fiedler. Just look at the time he gets, and he's dropping back, looks to the left, and all of a sudden wide open in the middle is Jed Weaver. Now the one thing, John Abraham, there he is, number 94. Chan Gailey said, we are going to know where he is at all times, and if there's not a blitz, he is going to get double teamed in every pass.
On first down, Minor trying to pick his way off right guard and gets a couple. 2nd and 8.
Now, even though it's the Miami Dolphins are dominating this game so far with their offense, staying on the field, no points though. What they're doing, you look at the Jet defense, it does not resemble the same defense, Greg, that we've seen a couple games so far this year. You don't see those porous holes. You don't see the runner going 10 yards before he gets hit the first time. And Herman Edwards says it's just simple. Guys are doing their assignments now and not taking chances to make plays.
Travis Minor stood up at the line of scrimmage by Steve Martin, the first to hit him.
And that.
They go to the ball.
They're absolutely. That's the thing. Herman says, at least we're hustling to the football now. We weren't doing that early. And when you hustle to the football, more guys get to hit the runner, more guys get around him, and that leads to turnovers. Hitting a runner or a receiver when they don't expect it, that's how you get turnovers.
And we've already told you how well the Jets are faring in the turnover department this season. 3rd and 8.
First time they've been in good position on defense.
Fiedler looks left. Coverage breaks down, and he goes down. John Abraham got to the quarterback.
See, it wasn't 3rd and 3. So the receivers at 3rd and 8, they had to send them farther down the field. The Jets know that. A better situation for them to cover. And you know what happens. 94 coming around the outside, gets up, makes the hustle, and gets the hit along with Mo Lewis.
So Olindo Mare, who has been perfect kicking the football, 19 of 19 on extra points, 13 of 13 field goals, this one from 42 yards out.
It should go to the right of your screen.
No good. Olindo Mare's first miss of the season. The Dolphins' long drive goes for naught. Jets football when we come back. Remind you, Jim, Randy, Mike, Jerry come your way on the next halftime report. Curtis Martin, Richie Anderson in the backfield as the Jets take over from the 32-yard line. The give is to Anderson. Anderson, left side, out across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. And speaking of Jim Nantz, he has an update for us from New York. Jim.
All right, Greg, the record at last for Shannon Sharpe. Career catch number 663, breaking Ozzie Newsome's mark. Most catches ever by a tight end in the history of the league. And that football's going to his grandmother, Mary Porter, down in Glenville, Georgia. By the way, Baltimore was stopped at the goal line on 4 downs. Let's go back to you.
All right, Jim, you think now that he has the record, Shannon might lose that hat that he was wearing in pregame? On 2nd and 5, Testaverde throws it out to this side. Curtis Martin makes a move, breaks free, and then is down at the 37-yard line. Zach Thomas tracking him down and making the hit.
Now, the one thing I was thinking about the Dolphins defense this game, missing 3 starters. We talked about that, Greg, in the opening. And good players, not just guys that really do well. But last week, they played Indianapolis Colts, a very physical football game. I wondered if the Dolphins could come here again today, be emotional, and still be physical. And so far, the defense looks very fast.
Santana Moss on the field on 3rd and 5. He is flanked to the top of the field. 5 wide receivers for Testaverde. Testaverde over the middle has his man Richie Anderson to midfield and a first down for the Jets.
That is so easy for the Jets what they did that time. Did you see Richie Anderson come in motion? What he was doing, nobody followed him as he was going across the formation. So he knows, and Vinny Testaverde both know, that it's a zone defense. That means he goes down the field and just sits in an open spot. Testaverde knew it, makes the perfect throw, and Zach Thomas tried to react, but you're too late.
First down, Jets, midfield. Goes back, no, play fake to Martin. Down the middle, Santana Moss. Incomplete as he dives at the 15-yard line. Brock Marion and Patrick Surtain were with him.
That ball looks like it just floats once it goes down the field because of the wind. Surtain against Santana Moss. They are absolutely watching where he runs, and Herman Edwards says we got a few passes in for him, maybe some screens, maybe a reverse, but he goes, mainly, don't forget, we could use him as a decoy.
On 2nd and 10, Curtis Martin. For about 3 or 4 to about the 47-yard line. It's interesting how Herman Edwards is approaching this with the addition of Santana Moss. He says now you've got speed with Moss and Lavernius Coles, and you've got a terrific possession receiver, Wayne Corbett. You've got guys like Curtis Martin and Lamont Jordan who can catch the football, and Richie Anderson. You know what? The defense has issues.
You got some issues when we put all these guys in the field, and he's right. I think it's a nice combination of a little bit of everything. All of them have different qualities that make them good, and it does make a defense. It puts them in a dilemma.
Moss is at the top of your screen on 3rd and 6. Testaverde pass over the middle, complete to Anthony Beck for a first down inside the 40-yard line.
And you forgot to mention Anthony Beck, a big receiver, blitzed by the Dolphins. Testaverde gets rid of the football quick, and a tough catch over the middle.
So it's a Jet first down now at the Miami 38. Herman Edwards, and you know, every time we talk to Herman Edwards, it comes through. He is enjoying this job as head coach.
Well, it's easy to enjoy when you're 6-3, and you know it is enlightening. Teaches a lot about football, Greg, and taught us a lot about the New York Jets. Talking to him last night.
Testaverde keeps, throws. Martin out of the backfield is run out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Arturo Freeman and Moreland Greenwood ran him out after a 3-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 7.
You know, I think the one thing that came across when we were talking to Herman Edwards last night is that everybody perceives him, and he is. He's a wonderful man. He's a nice man. But his one statement that caught me, he says, hey, don't ever forget, that line is not going to be crossed. I am the captain, and those players know it. And don't ever cross that line. So he is in charge of this football team.
2nd and 7. Curtis Martin going nowhere. Kenny Mixon off the defensive end position with the stop.
Boy, a couple things there. The blitz by the Dolphins. Watch Jason Taylor come on from the outside. The speed, they can't block him. And you see him right away. He grabs that right hand, Greg. He dislocated his ring finger last week, and it's got to be painful when he sticks it in there and tries to make a tackle.
Loss of 3 on the play makes it 3rd and 10.
Oh, he's grabbing that hand. Jason Taylor is in pain.
He's still going to line it up. Loose football. Curtis Martin dove on the ball. And now there's some squabbles at midfield. Number 69 is Jason Fabini, the left tackle.
Well, Kevin Mawai must have got the football stuck into turf, and it went right through the legs of Testaverde. Let's see what happens. Oh, yes, it just came right out of his hand. And he's caught. Should I block or should I go look for the football?
And we get a timeout here as the Jets line up to kick it.
Look at the formation the Jets are into. They ran a fake out of this.
Torrey Woodbury, number 11, a quarterback and wide receiver, is at the bottom of your screen. And Tom Tupa, the punter, is also a quarterback. He is going to kick this one. Aiming for the corner, bouncing inside the 5, and is going to roll to a stop at about the 2. 40-yard punt by Tupa, no return, and the Dolphins operate out of a hole when we come back.
I'm pretty hip sometimes when I'm around you.
From the 2-yard line. Straight ahead, Lamar Smith out to about the 7-yard line. A report from the field is that Tim Ruddy suffered a sprained right knee, but he is still in the lineup at center for Miami. 5-yard pickup on the play makes it 2nd and 5.
Well, this is two things. This is the time of the game, in a situation like this, both teams want to test. The Jets trying to get better, think they're better stopping the run, and Miami trying to prove that they can still run the football effectively.
The pitch for Smith. Left side. Penalty marker flies as he is met the line of scrimmage and driven back by Mo Lewis. Our referee today is Larry Nemmers.
Holding offense, number 71. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Right tackle Todd Wade.
You know, Greg, go back to the play. You can see the Jets, without question, running to the football better. That ensures more people getting the tackle, but also they are being more aggressive on defense. Herman Edwards says finally that I can trust them, so I can call more defenses. We can blitz more than we did the first few weeks of the season.
Fiedler from the shotgun on 3rd and 6. Has a pass out to about the 12-yard line. Is that complete? The Jets say no. The officials say no. Dedrick Ward, the ex-Jet, trying to make the diving grab.
You know, Greg, it was some catch by Dedrick Ward. I don't know if it hits the ground. Deflected, and yes, it hit the ground.
Good call by the officials, and it'll force Matt Turk and the punting unit on the field.
James Ferrier, 58. Good job of finding the receiver and getting in front of him.
Chad Morton is deep for the Jets. Turk has it bounced at the 41-yard line. Morton picks it up, turns, and is hit just as he crosses midfield, gets gets it back into Miami territory. Tommy Hendricks, number 51, made the stop after a 3-yard return. 4:04 to play in the first half.
Acura MDX, taking the SUV to a place it's never been before. Nextel, how business gets done. And by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Are you ready for a cold one?
The action is hot and heavy at Domino Park in Little Havana as we return to action. 4:04 to play in the first half. Jason Taylor, who was absolutely grimacing in pain, was telling us about that dislocation he suffered last week, and you know, we weren't all that thrilled to hear the story after he finished it.
Got a little cast on his hand now.
Testaverde, deep drop, with time, throws this side and overthrows Quebec. Number 27, Arturo Freeman, was tagging along. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, so far it looks like when I watch Testaverde throw the football, it's just kind of carrying too far. The wind is a problem. He gets some of that at Giant Stadium. The difference is it's usually 50 degrees up there instead of 85, which it is here today.
Santana Moss back on the field, flank to the top of your screen. 2nd and 10. Testaverde throws outside. It is tipped and falls incomplete. Jason Taylor got a hand on it. You see him accepting congratulations with that left hand, which is the way he shook hands with us when we talked to him on Friday.
Somebody shook his hand Friday.
Our director, Larry Cavallina.
Shook his right hand, and Larry, we had to come to your rescue, or he was going to kick your butt. But Jason Taylor, he loves playing the Jets. He likes the rivalry. He hates their football team, but he says the fans get excited, the media gets excited. That's what these players like. They like the action.
The pass underneath, incomplete, intended for Moss.
And you see Testaverde showing a little emotion. He's a little upset. Santana Moss, it was a read pattern. I think Testaverde thought he was going to keep running fast. Santana Moss pulled up, and there we go. All right, we'll get it straight. And look, it's his first game ever. No preseason, so Santana Moss is going to make a few mistakes out there.
Tupa hangs it up. It floats, bounces inside the 5 and down to the 1-yard line. Chris Hayes, number 30, tracks it down. 47-yard punt, and again Miami in a hole on offense. Jets special teams has contributed to that statistic. Miami average starting position, their own 15-yard line. Here they start from their own 1. 3:37 to play. Both teams with the full complement of timeouts.
I'll look for the Dolphins to try to throw the football, if not on first down, absolutely on second down.
Give it to Lamar Smith. He gets maybe 2 yards on the play. Marvin Jones in the middle of that Jet defense makes the stop after a 2-yard gain.
And why I say that, Greg, is last time they're in this situation, 2 runs, it's 3rd and it's over 5, tough for them to pick up. It didn't work. You don't get the yardage this time on the first down run, so you gotta try something different.
So, old blonde soothsayer, you are saying that they're going to throw the ball here?
He is.
Not too many English majors come out of Moorhead, do they? Travis Minor in the backfield on second down. Minor, the ball carrier.
Hey, it's up
to about the 5, maybe the 6-yard line.
Okay, so it's not the first time I've ever been wrong. The difference was they tried to spread the Jets out, give it to Travis Minor to try to get some cheap yards.
Clock is stopped. 2:50 to play in the first half. We'll be right back to Miami after this.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by the United States Postal Service and by DirecTV, the #1 digital satellite entertainment provider.
Welcome back. 3rd and 6 for Jay Fiedler and the Miami offense. 2:50 to play.
And if you think back, if you watch the game, almost every one of the completions, Jay Fiedler has completed 3 or 4 screen plays today The wind is absolutely playing a factor with these quarterbacks.
Fiedler from the shotgun. Going to go deep. McKnight can't get there. He had a step on Ray Mickens, and Fiedler just overthrew it.
Yeah, but he did the right thing. He had to be careful. He overthrew James McKnight. You got to play the wind. You've got to throw long when it's windy out on the football field. And, Greg, you could see when the football was in the air, you can see it moving, and it makes it really tough for receivers to make an adjustment when it does that.
Turk to kick it away. Chad Morton standing at midfield for the Jets. This one is going to bounce at the 35. Morton.
What a catch.
Returns back to about the 35-yard line. Good field position for the Jets. And a moment to remind you, CBS Thanksgiving night. The survivors are having cornmeal and muddy water. Be thankful you're not one of them. Don't miss an all-new Survivor Africa Thursday on CBS. How hot do you think it is there,
That
Phil?
just looks great, doesn't it? Yes. Hey, have you ever, I don't know if I could get that hungry.
That's right. 2:33, the Jets with terrific field position and 2 timeouts remaining. Curtis Martin.
Okay, fellas.
To about the 32-yard line.
Boy, Miami playing aggressive. Their favorite blitz they come with at that time. When they do that, you're not supposed to be able really to run the ball up inside and get any yards. But Curtis Martin, who has a great habit of just sliding through holes. Look at all the defenders up the line of scrimmage. Blitz from the outside. Finds just enough turn sideways and picks up 3 yards.
Testaverde going to look for Santana Moss. Far side of the field. Incomplete. And right there with him was Patrick Surtain. And with 1:59 to play in the first half, we take our 2-minute warning. 7-0 Jets. Coming up, the Nextel halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, Jerry, scores, highlights, the latest NFL news, and a CBS News update. America Fights Back, all coming up on the Nextel halftime report. 3 wide receivers in for the Jets. Coles, Moss, Trebek. The line of scrimmage, the 31-yard line. Jets squandered good field position the last time they had the football. 3rd and 6. Testaverde gives to Martin. Martin running room, 25, 20, inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Wow. So many times this year, the Jets, they probably run the football. No, there's no doubt. They run the football more than anybody in this league on 3rd and long. And the blitz, Zach Thomas in the middle. Blitzers from the outside. Nobody on the left side. The Jets have the trap going that way. And look at the running room for Curtis Martin.
And this is among Curtis's favorites.
Well,
out of bounds at the 18.
You heard Curtis Martin talk about the running game. He loves draw plays because it gives him the option to run where he sees the hole.
Double fake. Testaverde looks to the end zone. Touchdown, Coles.
What a throw. What a fake. They had me looking everywhere to see where the football was. The Jets do the play action off a play they run quite a bit. And what a route. Lavernius Coles, double move. And you can make 2 moves down the field when you're faking twice to running backs. It fools the defense. It stops the pass rush, gives the receiver the option to do that down the field.
He beat the rookie Jamar Fletcher, who is starting today in place of Sam Madison. John Hall with the extra point. And it's perfect. 1:44 to play. Lavernius Coles scores his 5th touchdown of the season. 14-0 Jets.
Yeah, I think I'll circle him.
17-yard touchdown is the longest play so far this afternoon as the Jets go 35 yards in 4 plays to take a 2-touchdown lead.
And that touchdown, you got to say, results from a couple things, Greg. But the big one, the 3rd down run by Curtis Martin to pick up a 1st down. When the Jets are struggling, picking up 3rd downs, struggling moving the football, and then they get the a chance to try that double fake and throw down the field.
And what an unfair thing to do to a rookie making his first career NFL start. Jamar Fletcher on the corner. Starting in place of Sam Madison.
Well, Jamar Fletcher, first-round draft pick, and hasn't seen much action this year. Dave Wanstead was curious to see how he would react to being a starter in a big game like this.
Chris Chambers is going to watch this one roll into and out of the end zone for the touchback. And let's go back to some terrific faking on the touchdown.
Well, a couple things. We saw the pass route, but watch Jason Taylor, what it does to the pass rush. The double fake by Testaverde, the run under. Jason Taylor spins inside. Look, nobody around Testaverde. The double move by Lavernius Coles. Perfect throw for the touchdown.
And Lavernius Coles, his 5th touchdown of the season. 3 of them have come against the Miami Dolphins.
That was a nice route. And you have to do something different to give a wide receiver a chance to do what he did down the field that time.
Miami has all 3 timeouts remaining, 1:44 on the clock. Fiedler from the shotgun, shovel pass. Travis Minor, and Minor out to about the 25.5, maybe the 26-yard line. He picked up 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4. Ray Mickens made the stop, and now the Dolphins will go without a huddle. Fiedler throws in and out of the hands of Chris Chambers. That'll stop the clock with 1:19 to play, and the Dolphin fans are a little bit restless.
Well, the Dolphin fans see the opportunity, and the Dolphins not taking advantage of it like that time. Chambers is open, drops the pass, and of course McKnight, Greg, missing the screen pass that led to a touchdown by the New York Jets.
Count this half and the last half of the first game in New York, and the Jets have outscored Miami 35-0 over that span. On 3rd and 4, Fiedler up the middle, almost intercepted. Damian Robinson had it in his sights and couldn't hold on.
Well, one thing that the Jets are going to do, they are going to keep Jay Fiedler in the pocket. He anticipates the throw. He's well covered down the field. And Robinson drops an easy interception.
3rd straight 3 and out for the Miami offense. And with 1:14 to play, Chad Morton hopes to give the Jet offense some field position.
And 2 timeouts.
Turk, high kick. Morton lets it bounce. And it takes a jet bounce and comes to a stop at their own 32-yard line. 43-yard punt and no return, and Vinny Testaverde will come back onto the field. You see his numbers on the day throwing the ball. 2 timeouts remaining and 60 seconds on the clock.
Now, you know, you hear a lot of people saying about the Jets passing game, they don't try a lot of passes and their attempts per game is not high. But we found something out. Testaverde has thrown for over 200 yards in a game this year. He didn't even know it. The PR director, Frank Ramos, tells him, and Vinny goes, oh, well, that's good. So he broke the 200-yard barrier 1 time so far this year.
And the Miami Dolphins take a timeout. So the Dolphins use 1 of their timeouts. Each team now has 2 left, and while we have a moment, we will tell you the NFL on CBS renews a Thanksgiving Day tradition. Brian Griese and the Broncos gallop into Big D to meet Emmitt Smith and the Dallas Cowboys. And it all begins with the NFL today at a special time, 3:30 Eastern, Thanksgiving Day, here on CBS. Phil, I'd like to be the first to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thanks.
And a Merry Christmas while we're at it.
Let's get way ahead of it. And a Happy New Year and all that stuff.
New York Jets playing a pretty good first half for themselves. No penalties, no turnovers, no sacks allowed.
That's the blueprint. Herman Edwards came in, wanted to run the football. Of course, he wants to play good defense, and every team preaches turnovers. But the Jets really put a game plan out there that gives them a chance to do that. They're not risky with the football, throwing it, and they're going to let the running game dominate what they do on offense.
Lamont Jordan is on the field as a receiver. They give it to Curtis Martin, and Martin gets nowhere. Tim Bowens will stack that up.
But that's kind of an example that right there, Greg. Most teams will just come out and start throwing it. The Jets are going to be very cautious.
Testaverde lines them up quickly. 40 seconds to play. Then he flips it out to Martin. Martin out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Run out by Arturo Freeman. That stops the clock with 33 seconds on the clock. It'll be a 3rd and 6. Last time Miami beat the New York Jets, November the 9th, 1997, 24-17 here in Miami. Third and 6, 5 wide receivers. Testaverde, quick pass to Richie Anderson, and it appears to be a fumble. Is it a fumble? No, it's an incomplete pass.
The Dolphins not fooled. The Jets showed that formation once before.
Saw one official doing a little campfire dance out there.
Remember the last time they did it? Richie Anderson went down the field, caught a short pass. They tried a screen play off of it, but this time Zach Thomas was following Richie Anderson, nowhere to go, even if he caught the football.
Tupa will kick to Dedrick Ward this time, the ex-Jet.
We might have a replay.
Which in the final minute is automatic.
Comes from upstairs.
And Larry Nimmer is going to take a casual stroll over to replay land.
Larry just wants to leave it up to us to guess. People are going to tell us he's just leaving. Well, let's see if the football is caught. There's the bobble. And he never had control of it. I could see it moving around Curtis Martin.
Good job by Jason Taylor to get a hand in there and disrupt Richie Anderson. You know, Jason Taylor, as Larry Nemmers gets set to check out the pictures. Jason Taylor describing the dislocation of his right ring finger last week. And to think that after all of that, it was straightened out. He got a couple of shots. He went back onto the field to play. It was less than pretty, Phil.
Yeah, you were amazed. I know you were, Greg, dealing with the pain. But let's look at it one more time. Now, the thing that confuses me, I thought it was blown dead on the field. So let's just see what happens. Curtis Martin does not have control of the football. You can see it goes out. The bobble. Down to his legs. I'm sorry, it's Richie Anderson. I said Curtis Martin.
And we're told that Larry Nemmers is checking to see if an interception took place.
Okay.
But Phil, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that was definitely the football rolling around on the ground out there.
Well, my question is, would the limb break? I'm sorry.
You know
what? Well, wait, come on. You've been picking on me all year. You talk about my grammar.
What grammar?
You didn't like the shirt I wore a couple weeks ago. It had button collars. You know, I took a chance. And this should be an easy review.
After reviewing the play, the replay booth challenged whether it was intercepted or not after the receiver muffed the football. The ruling on the field stands. It's an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down for the Jets.
So one more look. And Richie Anderson bobbled it. It hit the ground. Incomplete. We go back to punt formation.
Greg, I was just kidding, though.
I
Don't
know.
get upset. Okay.
From the 15. Dedrick Ward going to chase it, let it bounce, and picks it up. Back to the 25-yard line. Gerald Soule, number 33, down to make the tackle. 12 seconds to play. And that's what's left for Miami to run out the time here in the first half.
Well, they will run out the clock, of course, Craig. But the big thing is, I look at the Miami offense that had success early. They were moving the football, but they never made that play that gave them a really good scoring opportunity. I saw the Jet defense change at the end of the first half. They're really concentrating on making Jay Fiedler on third down, stay in the pocket and throw. So Miami's going to have to come out with a little different game plan in the second half.
Almost the exact opposite of what we saw the first time these teams met in New York. It was Miami with a 17-0 lead at halftime. They failed to score in the second half and saw the Jets come from behind to win it in the second half. Let's go down to Armin.
Coach, what do you say or do to overcome that "oh, not again" feeling that might be creeping into the mindset of your team?
Well, you know, the facts are that, you know, they went 35 yards and got the 1 touchdown, and so defensively we're playing fine. I mean, we've given up the 1 score. I'm going to tell them, hey, I think hopefully we reverse things. You know, this will be the first time in a while we've gone into the fourth quarter, you know, at least the second half behind. Maybe that'll mean the difference.
All right, Coach. Greg.
All right, Armin, thank you. And, you know, there's probably no question that little feeling has crept into the minds of the Miami Dolphins. They saw a fumbled pass reception turn into an interception for a touchdown, and then Vinny Testaverde's TD pass to Lavernius Coles, and they're down 2 touchdowns. Our halftime score, the Jets 14, Miami nothing. Coming up, off to Jim Nantz for the Nextel halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry get you all caught up with the scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news, and a CBS News update. America fights back after these messages from your local station.
I'll put a spell on.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Welcome to the Nextel Halftime Report. We're speed talking right through this halftime. Jim Nantz, Mike Dick, Randy Cross, Jerry Glample. Here we go. Miami and the Jets. Last 4 quarters of action between these teams. Lavernius Coles, 3 touchdown catches, Randy.
Never fear. They got the Jets right where they want them, out in front, where they can keep their eye on them. No comeback necessary for the Jets because they're making the plays they've made all year long. It's all about turnovers and points over turnovers and good, strong defense this year for the Jets. And here you got a play that is made, and it's Glenn for a touchdown. How nice is that for the Jets? The Jets weren't done. Lavernius Coles, 3rd touchdown against Miami in his young career. And it's so far, it really is. It really is a dominant performance, I think, by the Jets doing what they do best, is not hanging on the ball, but just sort of winning.
Meanwhile, the Saints have just taken the lead on the Colts here, and Brooks runs one in from 7 yards out. Peyton Manning goes back home. He grew up just blocks away from the Superdome. First play of the game, Mike.
Unbelievable. First play from scrimmage. He hits Marcus Pollard, 86 yards, the longest pass in Manning's career, and what's his 26 years since somebody threw that.
Yep, 26.
And that was in Baltimore, my God.
That was Burt Jones to Roger Carr 26 years ago. But here comes Brooks leading back the Saints.
Boo Williams. Eddie Boo. Touchdown. Watch this play right here. He should be tackled. 1, 2. Keep contained. Don't keep contained. He's a touchdown. That's all it is. It's a bad defense here, gang. They'll blow it.
There you can see the instant update. 35 seconds still to go in the half. Seattle was up in front 10-0. Bills come back behind Van Pelt to Peerless Price and Alexander on a 100-yard pace off the 266 performance last Sunday.
Now watch Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck's going to throw to the end zone. He throws it behind Robinson. Robinson makes a great catch. Got the touchdown.
First touchdown of his career, the rookie first-rounder. Here's Van Pelt, though, Jerry. Peerless Price.
Peerless Price. And I've got to talk about Alex Van Pelt. He not only has thrown for 149 yards, he has no sacks.
University of Pittsburgh, boy.
Yeah, you always point that out. Your alma mater. Meanwhile, the Browns beat up on Baltimore 4 weeks ago, and Gerback has garbled this one. 3 times he's been intercepted. This was one of the few highlights, Randy.
Shannon Sharp becomes the all-time leader for tight ends in receptions, which is a little bit obscure when you start qualifying things by position, but that's not a big deal. Shannon gets that ball. His grandmother gets to bring that thing back down to Georgia. Ozzie Newsome takes it from Shannon Sharp, but then again, Cleveland has taken most everything else so far from the Baltimore Ravens. I said in the pregame show, look out for Baltimore, they're coming. Somebody forgot to tell Butch Davis.
Tennessee and Cincinnati, the opening kick run back by Mason for a touchdown, and leading now, final minute of the first half. Atlanta and Green Bay, Favre's been picked twice, but just threw a touchdown to Schrader to get back within 6. 49ers got a touchdown pass, Garcia to Stokes, but the Panthers lead it as Winky has not been intercepted in this game. That's always good news. He's had that problem all season long. Eagles over the Cowboys as McNabb has thrown a touchdown and Leaf has thrown for only 52 yards thus far. Coming up next, John Roberts, CBS News, America Fights Back. Thanks for being with us.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
We welcome you back to Pro Player Stadium. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms. 14-0 Jets at halftime, and it is obvious that Miami has to do something offensively in the second half that they haven't done in the first half.
Now you're an analyst too, huh? You got it going both ways, but it is, Greg, and I think the Jets defense had some good answers late in the first half from Miami's offense. They are trying to force Jay Fiedler to throw the football outside. The Jets have good corner guys, good cover guys on the corner. That's going to make it tough, and the wind was absolutely a factor for both quarterbacks throwing the ball in the first half.
All right, take a look at the halftime numbers. You will hear it all the time. Time of possession makes the difference. The numbers lie because the Dolphins had the advantage as far as time of possession in the first half, but they're down on the scoreboard by a score of 14-0.
Well, the story in the first half, of course, the turnover, but really field position. The Jets had terrific field position a couple of times. They did get one touchdown out of it. And again, the turnover, that always makes that time of possession useless.
The Jets will get the football first here in the second half. Olindo Mare to kick. Craig Yeast and Lamont Jordan are deep for the Jets. Craig Yeast is leading the NFL in kickoff return average at almost 29 yards a return. And we're underway here in the second half, and from the 5-yard line, it's Yeast. Hit at the 25-yard line and is brought down by Sean Wooden. Let's check in with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. In talking to Herman Edwards, he said, given the nature of this series, we cannot do anything to let these guys get back into the game. To that end, Curtis Martin, the first person out of the locker room, stood there and slapped hands with every single member of the team that went by. And the word that I heard more than once in that locker room hallway was, finish, finish. Back to you.
Are you finished, Armin? Thank you, Mr. Katayan. First down for the Jets in their own 25-yard line. Martin and Anderson in the backfield. And we'll start out on the ground with Martin. Cuts it to the right to about the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. Derek Rogers with the stop.
You know, it's interesting. Curtis Martin out there giving 5 to everybody, trying to pep them up. And I thought Herman Edwards really said something that caught my attention yesterday. He goes, my team, we don't have egos. We don't have guys worried about certain things. And I was looking at him, he goes, because my best player, and everybody knows he's the best player in the team, it's Curtis Martin. No ego. The rest of you, just be quiet. That was it. And that
second and 7.
I'm sorry, Greg, but it does explain it. Curtis Martin really sets the tempo, the mindset for the New York Jets football team.
Martin with the handoff and nowhere to go. Well, Curtis Martin comes into this game the leading rusher in the National Football League. Is it special? You bet. 917 yards on the ground, 10 touchdowns, and he has accounted for 54 first downs. You don't think Curtis wears those glasses when he plays, do you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But Curtis Martin is a special player, hardest worker, team leader, and there's really a good story that explains it all. If we get a chance, we'll tell it to you here when the opportunity comes up.
3rd and 7. Quick pass, incomplete, intended for Corbett, broken up by, who is that, number 21, Terry Cousin.
That is, just think of, look how tough this is to defend if you're the defensive back. Wayne Corbett, very close to the quarterback, makes a move. It's a short pass, but Terry Cousin, very aggressive, gets in the way and knocks it down.
Corbett, no catches so far today, and neither, for that matter, does Santana Moss have any. Tupa kicks it away to Dedrick Ward. Ward drifting back to his own 19. just to cross the 30-yard line to the 31. Kelvin Moses makes the stop. Jay Fiedler in the offense. Back to work after this. As you look at Jay Fiedler and see that statistic, it's tough to get any kind of momentum going when you can't register a first down. 8 of 15 for 63 yards, and the interception that was returned by Aaron Glenn for the touchdown.
Really no play-action passes by the Dolphins in the first half. Downfield throwing, they tried that, and a few screens.
Fiedler to throw on first down this side, and that's complete to Hunter Goodwin, the tight end, and he's out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Pick up a 4 makes it 2nd and 6.
Well, the one thing the Dolphins have done very well this year, the play-action fakes, Greg, to the right, and the quarterback goes the opposite way. They've done a tremendous job with it, but they've done it so much that the teams they play are really gearing up for it. The Indianapolis Colts last week stopped it, and we heard it many, many times from the Jet players. Don't over-pursue. Look for the quarterback coming the opposite way of the run.
On 2nd and 6, the give is to Smith, left side, and he is wrapped up by Steve Martin, number 91. Now, Chan Gailey was telling us the other day that they're running the ball the same amount as they were last year, but last year they were manufacturing ways to run the football because of injuries to the wide receiver.
Yeah, they couldn't throw it at all last year, so they, no matter what the situation, no matter how many defenders were put at the line of scrimmage, he was going to figure out a way to try to hand that ball to Lamar Smith, and it worked well for him. Got him into playoffs, into the second round.
Miami averaging just over 2.5 yards per rushing attempt. Travis Minor in the game now. Fiedler from the shotgun. Fiedler steps up, throws this side. It is caught and completed. Chris Chambers with a terrific catch.
Well, that's what you need to get a scoring drive going anytime. But it really helps when somebody makes a tremendous play like this one by Chris Chambers. The Jets play inside coverage. They're going to make Jay Fiedler throw it to the outside. Wow, nice catch. Going high, and both feet gets him down, no problem.
Chambers with catches of 74 and 29 yards for a touchdown last week. Chan Gailey told us not only now does Jay Fiedler have confidence in Chambers, he's looking for him. On first down, the pitch for Smith. And Smith just shy of midfield.
Well, that was a nice play by John Abraham. We've talked about it. He's a tremendous pass rusher for the New York Jets. Watch him go up the field. Number 94, getting blocked, sees a run inside, gets off the block, goes for the strip, tries to get the turnover, and gets in on the tackle.
We were talking about this rivalry, to which he is very new because he didn't play them at all a year ago. He left with hernia surgery early in the season. He says he's learned when it's a rivalry game, you never die.
He likes it.
Fiedler on 2nd and 9 gets rid of it. It is complete. Inside the 45-yard line, Oronde Gadsden with a terrific grab.
Oronde Gadsden, another good throw by Jay Fiedler, just over the linebacker. Oh, and look at the hands of Gadsden. Reaches up and pulls it in.
So after going 15 and a half minutes without a first down, Fiedler has registered 2 here. Clock coming up on 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. 7 different Dolphins on the receiving end. Quick pass out to the side, and that's complete to McKnight. McKnight close to breaking loose on the far side of the field, gets it inside the 35-yard line. And McKnight slow getting off the turf.
Couldn't see what happened, but nice execution. Look how quick Fiedler gets rid of the football. Nice catch out in front. You got to trust your blocking. And that's what happened. Couldn't see who fell on top of, that's John Abraham. Hustling from the far side, falls on top of McKnight. And keeps him down.
John Abraham officially listed at 6'4", 256.
When you put the speed behind it, makes him about 320 pounds.
We'll take a timeout here with 9:43 to play in the third.
On CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Circuit City, we know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Scenes from Little Havana again as we welcome you back. James McKnight on the sideline. Appeared to have had the wind knocked out of him. He was helped off. He's sitting out this play. Lamar Smith and Rob Conrad. And this one goes nowhere. Boos rain down as the clock continues to move, and Dave Wannstedt looks on, now looking at a 3rd and 1 after no gain.
You know, it is. You know, I'm not down there playing anymore, Greg, but, you know, when you have a running play and it goes up in there and really doesn't gain any yards, it is an ugly football play. And I can kind of understand why the fans go, they don't like it, but it's 2nd and a foot. You can't always go deep on 2nd and short.
So now it's 3rd and short. Smith, pretty close to the first down, but he appears to be short.
Well, he's not getting a great mark from this side, that's for sure.
James Reed, number 93, in on the stop in the middle of the Jet line.
Now that was a nice play call. Like a little counter, fake the fullback to the right or left, and then Lamar Smith comes back to the right. But the Jets, the line of scrimmage, are doing, it's not even, doesn't even resemble the same team I saw a few weeks ago. Their run defense has been very good today, and it's been spectacular the last 3 weeks.
That's your second spectacular of the day.
I know, I like that word, but Ted Cottrell, see what happened is Ted Cottrell, oh, it's not even close. If Ted Cottrell, the defensive coordinator, if he starts yelling at you, you just got to take my word for it, he has the biggest voice in the National Football League.
On 4th and 1, the Dolphins are going to go for it.
And he can catch your attention.
Miami 3 out of 5 on 4th down. Herman Edwards exhorting his troops. 4th and 1 from the 32. Conrad in motion. Fiedler gonna throw. Gonna bring it down and now tosses it. Batted up and intercepted. Victor Green is gonna take it for a touchdown.
Unbelievable. The Jets defense the play perfectly as Jay Fiedler was coming out. Then he decided there's no passing lanes. Let me run it. That was taken away. Then he tries to throw it over the top of Victor Green and watch the play. It was a quick throw to the outside. It's covered. Oh, and Victor Green times it perfectly for the interception.
Oh, do you see the frustration on the sideline of the Miami Dolphins? Second interception return for a touchdown, and as a former defensive back, you know Herman Edwards is going to love that. Second time today, the Jets have returned a pick for a touchdown. John Hall. And the kick is good. Aaron Glenn returned one 60 yards in the first quarter. Victor Green goes 63 with this one. 21-0 Jets. His defense is getting better. Boy, look at what's happened today. First quarter, Aaron Glenn, the interception of the bobble, returning 60 yards, and then Victor Green on 4th down with the tip, and he takes it 63 yards. 21-0 Jets over the Dolphins. 8:15 to play in the third. On the kick, Deion Dyer.
Good catch.
And a 12-yard return. And let's go back to the interception.
Well, here's what the Dolphins are trying to do. They're trying to throw a quick short pass to Jed Weaver. Watch the defender for the Jets. Keeps perfect position. It's Victor Green. He comes off, he jumps up, and then makes the interception. But so many teams on 3rd and short or 4th down situations throw that quick pass out on that to the inside receiver that if you're a defender, you've got to know that's going to be one of the opportunities they're going to try. And Victor Green played it perfectly the whole way.
Now, both coaches, we know, we're looking at this game saying, you know, we're going to find out something about our teams. And I'm sure Dave Wanstead is really curious to see how his team reacts now. Fiedler under the gun, lofts it up, complete. Lamar Smith, 40, 45-yard line, and that'll be just short of a first down. James Ferrier making the stop.
The Jets sending the blitzer, going for the kill. That time it was Damian Robinson coming, but they had the screen on. And the one thing, it's hard to defense the screen. Watch Robinson. Comes untouched from the outside. Good timing. But when you throw screens, a lot of times the defensive linemen are the ones that have to recognize it and chase it from behind. It took them too long to realize it was a screen that time.
Ball is at the 45. It's a 2nd and 1. End around. Here comes McKnight. And McKnight has enough for the first down. Some interesting numbers for you. Jay Fiedler has thrown for 110 yards, but his interceptions have gone for 123 in the other direction.
Well, it's interesting watching the Jets. They're doing a good job against the run. And what they're really doing, they're not letting the Dolphins get that big pass play. So if you're watching the game, the Dolphins are they may have to execute 8, 9 plays to get in scoring position. And Greg, you know, in this league, it's hard to have a drive and just keep picking up first down to the first down.
Jet defense, 30th in the National Football League. Doesn't look like it today. Lamar Smith to midfield. Number 99, Eric Obadwu, was the first man with his hands on him, and the boos rained down again on the Dolphin offense.
Greg, you have to keep running the football to keep the defense honest. And what you want to find out is the defense going to keep playing the run. You know, like that run there. A lot of times the defense, they say 21-0, I'm going to get me a sack. A defensive lineman does, and you can get a 10 or 15-yard run on them before they realize what's going on.
You mentioned it earlier today, Phil, that Dave Wanstead put up a board down in the training room for takeaways, giveaways, and net. He says keeping track starting this week. Not a good start today. Penalty markers fly. Play clock expired. More boos come down.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Well, anytime there's a delay of game in the National Football League, there's only one person to blame.
You?
No, yeah, me. No, it's the quarterback. That's his responsibility to always keep his eyes on the play clock to make sure he calls the signals and runs the offense while paying attention to the time.
Smith in motion on 2nd and 12. Shovel pass, and was that net hard by John Abraham.
John Abraham, that is just a second-year player just getting the feel and recognizing things. He's coming up the field, going to be unblocked. Oh, he's going to get the quarterback. He sees the receiver coming underneath and falls off inside to make a beautiful tackle.
James McKnight was lucky to hold on to the football.
And look at Herman Edwards. His young defensive ends, Sean Ellis and John Abraham, they can be the difference in the Jets defense because they can do everything.
On 3rd and 11.
That's a hold.
Pass is complete to McKnight, and McKnight to about the 46-yard line. You're right, Phil. John Abraham coming around the corner. It was a takedown.
I can't believe it wasn't called. Watch John Abraham go around. It doesn't look as bad in the replay, but it sure looked like, why did it? Oh, that's going to be a flag thrown. But
Todd Wade, number 71, trying to keep him in check. 4th down. And Turk to kick it away to Chad Morton. Morton going to stay away from this one, and it bounces out of bounds inside the 10-yard line at about the 5. 41-yard kick by Turk.
Phil on CBS is sponsored by Pizza Hut, where every week this fall you can get one of our pizzas for an unbelievable price. And by the Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
We remind you, read NFL.com for in-depth analysis from Marv Leafy, Vic Carucci, and Phil Simms. Get the inside scoop all week long at NFL.com or your AOL keyword, NFL.com. And some noise now from the Miami fans as they understand this is pretty good defensive field position for the Dolphins. First down from the 5-yard line. Curtis Martin. Maybe 2 after the pileup. Let's go down to Armin.
Now, Greg, you guys know I'm not big on props down here, but I couldn't resist. After hearing how his team had been winning ugly for the last month, Herm Edwards decided to do something about it, and here he is, Shrek. You know, the movie title from the same guy, the character in that movie, Big Ugly Ogre. Curtis Martin picking up on the theme and saying, you know, we're the Shreks of this league. We may be winning ugly, but we'll take it all the time. So Shrek has become kind of the unofficial team mascot up all along the meeting rooms and in the hallways of the Jets camp. And got to remember, Greg, Shrek got the girl in the movie. Back to you.
Yeah, I sure hope that pass is in a hurry. 2nd and 8. Testaverde throws this side, complete to Coles. Coles, 25-yard line.
Jamar Fletcher was on the coverage that time. He thought he was going to get the interception, and he would have if this is still college, but Testaverde saw him, threw the football outside because he saw the defender pushing from the inside. Watch it. 24 is Fletcher, goes for the interception. Perfect throw by Vinny Testaverde. And a big first down for the Jets.
Jamar Fletcher, the 26th player selected overall, Miami's #1 draft pick, led the Big Ten in interceptions for 3 straight years. Thought he had one there. 5 wide receivers. First down. Testaverde, quick one over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Richie Anderson. It'll be 2nd and 10, and we go to Jim Nantz in New York. Jim.
All right, Elvis Grbac has had an awful day. He's been picked 4 times, but after Rod Woodson picked off a pass of Couch, Grbac rallies with the touchdown toss to Todd Heap, and the Ravens are within 6, late 3rd. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
Well, we know Baltimore has been antsy for getting Todd Heap healthy again. He's a coming player. 2nd and 10. For the Jets. The pitch for Martin. Tries the right side, cuts back out to about the 27-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and 9.
How impressive has the Dolphin defense been today? The offense has given up 2 touchdowns. The other touchdown drive was off of great field position. They're covering the receivers down the field. They're doing a good job in the running game.
And Zach Thomas, the captain in the middle of that defense.
Look at that, the Jets today, only 114 yards.
And now Testaverde going to call timeout. Walked up to the line, decided now is not the time to run this play. First timeout used by the Jets here in the 2nd half. They're up 21. Interactive poll for today, for those of you who know how to turn on your computers, which original backup running back has the most superstar NFL potential? Log on, cast your vote at NFL.com. 3rd and 9. Big play defensively for the Dolphins. Testaverde shovel pass, and that goes shy of the 30-yard line to Curtis Martin.
Well, we were talking during the commercial, Greg, and we knew it was going to be a very conservative play call by the New York Jets. You're up 21-0. You can feel the Miami defense, and watch Zach Thomas, 54, reacts very quickly, takes on the block, and then gets in on the tackle. But you can feel the Miami defense knows the danger. They're willing to take chances to try to make plays.
Tupa kicked. Dedrick Ward drifting back to his own 17-yard line. Back to the 30. And forward to about the 34-yard line. Gerald Solo makes the stop. We remind you tonight on CBS. Who watches the Border Patrol while the Border Patrol is watching the border? Whoever it is isn't doing a very good job tonight on 60 Minutes. Followed by the education of Max Bickford. And then Hallmark Hall of Fame presents a dramatic story of courage and romance in love and war. That's all tonight on CBS. 49 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Jay Fiedler, the longest offensive play of the day for the Dolphins, 13 yards. Travis Minor in the backfield, Fiedler working out of the shotgun. Pass to the far side, and that's complete. Orlando Gadsden out of bounds at about midfield, and that's a first down.
Boy, how about that? Marcus Coleman slips down. He recognizes the play, comes up, and who makes the tackle from behind? It's John Abraham. Every once in a while, the Jets will drop him back into coverage. Last year, he played linebacker for the Jets, did a tremendous job. And this season, when Herman Edwards took over, when they said they were going to make him a defensive end and gain weight, I thought, oh, that's got to be a mistake.
Half a minute to play in the third. Fiedler going to throw this side. Has his man Chambers out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Chambers coming off a terrific 3 reception for 113 yards and 2 touchdown day a week ago in Indianapolis.
Nice throw by Jay Fiedler, but Greg, to finish that, I brought that up to Herman Edwards and said John Abraham was a tremendous linebacker. Why would you put his hand on the ground and make him a defensive end? He goes, Phil, he's our best pass rusher. I want him to rush the passer every play. That answered that question.
In a hurry. Fiedler on the run is brought down at about the 35. Sean Ellis and Steve Martin converging on him. And we're in the last 6 seconds of the third quarter.
Mo Lewis missed the tackle. They're keeping somebody in front of Jay Fiedler every time he drops back to throw.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Jets 21 and Miami nothing. We'll come back to Pro Player Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Fiedler trying to pick things up here in the second half is 9 out of 10 throwing the football, but that one that he didn't complete was Victor Green's interception in return for the touchdown. On 2nd and 7, Fiedler out of the shotgun. Steps up and throw deep down the sideline. It is intercepted. Damian Robinson picks it off. He's to the 10, the 15, the 20. Still on his feet. Across the 30 to the 34-yard line. 30-yard return on the third interception of the day of Fiedler by the Jet defense.
Well, the safety, Damian Robinson, is in the back. There's nobody that threatens him down the middle of the field, so he just reads Jay Fiedler. It's a nice route. He gets by Aaron Glenn, but Aaron Glenn knows he has deep help. Damian Robinson times it perfect.
Phil, Jay Fiedler threw this for a touchdown to Chris Chambers at Indianapolis last Sunday.
Greg, it's the exact same play, but this time the safety is in good position. He comes over. He saw Fiedler look to his left from the minute the ball was snapped, and Jay Fiedler did not throw it exactly the way he wanted it to or where he wanted to go, and that's why it was intercepted.
Jets first down from the 33-yard line. Curtis Martin trying to stretch it out, now forward to almost the 35-yard line. Kenny Mixon with the stop.
Yeah, let's just go back and look at, here's Damian Robinson, here's Chambers. See if anybody comes up the field. Nobody comes up the field, so Robinson is free to roam and go to the outside. That's why he was there and made the easy interception.
Jet defenders have made 3 interceptions today, good for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. Second and 9. Quick pass to the far side is complete to Curtis Martin. And Martin out of bounds, a couple-yard pickup. We check in with Jim Nance in New York. Jim.
All right, Greg, Aaron Brooks having a huge day for the Saints. He's 14 out of 16 passing, running for a touchdown and throwing for 2 more. Both of the touchdown tosses to Eddie Boo Williams as the Saints have come back from 14-0 down to take the lead by 7. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim. We'll talk about a team that was battered physically, the Indianapolis Colts last week in this game against Miami. 3rd and 5. Here's the pitch for Curtis Martin. Going to cut it back to the inside, and he is met there. 38. And the Jets will kick it away. Jason Taylor coming down the line to make the stop.
The Jets are not even going to think of taking a chance on offense now. 4th quarter, up 21-0. They are going to make Miami score or show at least the potential to get some scoring going before they even throw the football down the field again.
Dedrick Ward stands at his own 15.
Beautiful.
And this one sails out of bounds, close to the 20-yard line. 12:47 to play here in the 4th. Back to Pro Player Stadium. It's been a huge renewal of a huge rivalry. It started in the 1st quarter. Aaron Glenn returning an interception 60 yards for a touchdown. The hard hitting continued. Lavernius Coles with a touchdown catch, and then Victor Green, the tip and the return for 63 yards. And that's where we stand. 12:47 to play in the 4th quarter. 21-0 Jets. Fiedler in the offense from the 20-yard line. Shovel pass, and Minor is dragged down, and a penalty marker flies, and we haven't seen many of those today.
Could have been a face mask. See what I said? Illegal man downfield.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, close. That was close. You know, I always say I'm never going to guess. You know, it's the worst. I hate it when people do it on TV and I'm watching it, and here I do it all the time myself.
So Larry Nimmer still discussing it with his cohorts.
Well, no, he's discussing the Jets can't decide if they want the penalty or decline it.
Herman Edwards says leave it alone.
Well, Herman, they see the coaches couldn't make their mind. They're trying to figure it out.
Ineligible downfield. Number 63. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Mark Dixon charging off the line a little early. Loss of 1 makes it 2nd and 11.
The thing that jumps out about Miami's offense today, they did not run the football well. And when you don't get that going, or at least make the defense play it, it took away all their play action passes, their ability to let the receivers get down the field with good protection.
Oh, look how quickly Abraham was in on the quarterback, and that pass is incomplete, broken up by Mo Lewis. Did John Abraham almost beat the snap?
John Abraham is so fast, and he does it to both sides. On the top of your screen, just beats the tackle before they can get up. Jay Fiedler, nice hop to get out of the way. Todd Wade can barely get a hand on him. And Greg, he told us, he goes, I looked at the first Miami game, all I did was use my speed rush to the outside. Now I change up, but today that speed rush has worked almost every time.
Fiedler stepping up and is going to run. Bulls forward. Loose football. Was it blown dead? Well, the Dolphins have the ball at the 30-yard line, and that is, let's see where the spot is, but that's awfully close to a 1st down.
That was a fumble. I did not see anybody blow that play dead.
Marcus Coleman is arguing the spot.
Now let's watch what they do. What happens? This is the first time the Jets didn't have somebody in front of Jay Fiedler to stop him from running. Victor Green comes up with the hit. The football is out. It's a fumble. Look where it is. That's where the ball should have been spotted. Spencer Folau comes up and makes the recovery. Well, let's see. That's exactly where the football is spotted.
But you know what? It's about a half yard further up the field.
The ruling on the field was that the ball was pulled and recovered by the offensive team at the spot right here.
Well, recovered by the offensive team, but the spot certainly is in question.
Well, it looks like, Greg, it's going to be a little bit short. It's going to be 4th down.
And Larry Nemmer's going to the far side of the field. Talk to us, Larry.
Well, I'm not sure. I think that they thought there was a challenge, Greg, and we're trying to figure out if it was maybe something went wrong with the system.
There's no challenge on the play after the explanation.
So the ball is just shy of a first down, and Jay Fiedler and the Miami offense going to go for it here on 4th and 1.
Well, it's really a tough position. You know, if you're the Dolphins, what do? I think you got to run it up in there. You got Lamar Smith. He's a power runner. It's only about a foot to go for a first down.
Dion Dyer lined up in front of him. Fiedler going to keep it.
Okay.
And appears to have the first down.
He's up. He's up. He's up.
Those 2 yards rushing give the Dolphins 75 for the day.
And now the Dolphins have to go to the hurry-up offense. You need 3 touchdowns, 11 and a half minutes to go, 3 possessions.
Fiedler throws this side. McKnight complete, jumps out of bounds just short of the 40-yard line. I mentioned that 75 yards rushing, Phil, over this Jet 3-game winning streak. They've been allowing 100 yards a game.
2nd and 2 from the 39-yard line.
And we've talked about how Herman Edwards has been glowing about his improved defense.
When you stop the run, it puts the offense in positions where your defense can take advantage of it.
Travis Minor tripped up at the 43-yard line by James Ferrier. Ferrier coming into this game the leading tackler for the New York Jets.
But you know, Greg, to go back to it, if it's 2nd or 3rd and long, it just makes sense. It's a lot easier for your defense now to make plays. You know what the offense is going to do. Your pass rushers, John Abraham, they can take advantage and they can cause mistakes by the offense.
On first down, Fiedler throws this side. McKnight again. McKnight tries to split the defenders, gets out of bounds just across midfield at the 48-yard line of the Jets.
And the Jets, no question, have changed their defense, playing back, trying not to give up the big play. But you know what? They weren't giving up big plays before. I don't think they needed a change.
On 2nd and 1, they give to Minor, and Minor has the first down to the 45. Eric Abagu, Steve Martin combine after a 3-yard gain. So it's first down Miami at the 45. Clock continues to move, coming up on 10 minutes to play in regulation. Fiedler runs out of time, rolls, throws. Minor, 40, out of bounds, about 2 yards shy of first down. James Ferrier again with the stop. It'll be 2nd and 2. Ferrier coming into this game with 109 tackles to lead the Jet defense.
And what the Jets do, and you're seeing all the defensive linemen, they're going to substitute, keep it fresh, and this time they're going to rush the passer.
On the blitz, they get to Fiedler, loose ball. And the Jets have it.
Nice change up. All of a sudden they come in with 4 defensive linemen. They blitz. The Dolphins don't react to it quick enough. They get the fumble. Ray Mickens from the backside on the blitz. And Eric Abagu. Look at Ray Mickens. He times it perfectly. Catches the offense off guard. Causes the fumble. And number 99, Eric Abagu, gets the fumble.
And as we've said, Ted Cottrell, Herman Edwards, a couple of defensive guys all their lives, couldn't be happier on the Jet side of the field.
Well, what a turnaround for this defense. It is incredible to know what they did the first 6 games and to play they have, the way they have the last 3, well, now almost 4 games.
Well, we have a stoppage on the field, and perhaps Dave Wannstedt wants to know if maybe the arm was in motion, if that might be ruled an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's what he wants to know, and it's a good call by Dave Wannstedt. He's got to take the gamble and lose the timeout. Does the ball go forward? No, it does not. It was ruled a fumble on the field. Jay Fiedler never saw the blitz.
If this play stands, that's 8 Miami turnovers in the 2 contests against the New York Jets this season.
And you listen, it comes down to this. The Jets causing turnovers and not turning the football over themselves is the reason why they came in this game 6-3. If his arm is moving forward, then that would be ruled a fumble. But when you look at it,
an incompletion.
I mean, an incomplete pass. What did I say? I said it wrong? Yes, if it's moving forward, it's an incomplete pass. Sorry. At least you're listening to me, Greg.
So Larry Nemmers checks it out. 9:33 to play.
Yep, he's done looking.
If it is upheld, Miami loses a timeout.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback's arm was not going forward, so it was a fumble. The play stands as called. It'll be first down for the Jets. Miami will be charged with their first down.
Well, things are going the way of the Jets as they have for the last 7 meetings.
Bell on CBS is sponsored by Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular. Universal Pictures and Beacon Pictures Spy Game. Robert Redford, Brad Pitt, Spy Game in theaters soon. And by Chrysler. Drive equals love.
Along with Phil Simms, Armin Katayan, and the rest of our ace CBS Sports crew, Greg Gumbel at Pro Player Stadium. A contented pack of defensive Jets on the sideline as they have again given the ball to the offense. First down. The fake to Martin, the pass to nobody out here. Richie Anderson was in the near flat. It has been an opportunistic and aggressive New York Jet defense. Here's opportunity presenting itself in the first quarter. Aaron Glenn and John Abraham with the sack. The run defense has been tough. Miami is under 100 yards rushing, and Victor Green returning the interception for a touchdown. Damian Robinson cutting short another Miami threat. It has been an impressive defensive performance by the green and white. On 2nd and 10. The blitz, the give is to Martin, and Martin just across the 40-yard line.
You know, we were talking about Curtis Martin earlier, Greg, and I got to tell you this one story that I said I wanted to tell you that really explains him. It was July 5th. The Jets have broken nobody's working out the complex anymore. The players go their ways or whatever before training camp. Terry Bradway, the general manager, was at the shore. He says he's driving home. He said, I'm going to stop by the complex. He has a son. We're going to throw a few passes, expecting nobody to be there. He goes out in the practice field. He looks over on a hill on the other practice field, and there was Curtis Martin lining up, going through the plays of the offense like he was actually practicing.
All by himself. Testaverde with time over the middle. Corbett juggling. Did he hold on? No, incomplete. Corbett still without a reception today, but made a pretty good try.
Well, what a lot of people are going to say, the Jets are going to win the game most likely, but Corbett, Santana, Moss, none of them catch passes, but it's immaterial. Who cares? They didn't have to make the passing game work today. They were not forced to make plays on offense because the defense put them in that situation.
Oh, is there any better statistic than this? The Jets have only mustered 6 first downs on offense, but they lead 21-0.
This isn't baseball. Statistics, they lie in football.
Jeff Ogden from the 11. 20. Out of across the 25 to the 26-yard line. 8:24 to play. Time running out on the Miami Dolphins. Stay tuned. Coming up on the Subway post-game show, Jim Nantz and company have scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news. That's on the Subway post-game show. Line of scrimmage at 26-yard line. The Dolphins at their own 26. Fiedler 14 out of 17 this half. 2 of the 3 incompletions are interceptions. Here's a blitz. They pick it up. The ball is batted incomplete.
You know, Greg, the one thing that caught my attention watching this defense, getting ready for today's game, that it's changed. Of course, it's playing better. We could see that in the statistics. But Herm Edwards made a good point in Ted Cottrell. He goes, remember, he goes, this is not Tampa Bay's defense where he came from. What they have done, they finally have really learned the players, and they've changed the defense to fit a lot of these players. They know they have good corners on the outside, so instead of playing zone all the time, they let these guys cover wide receivers man-to-man, and it frees up other people to rush the passer.
Pass this way, it's complete, and a loose football. McKnight lost it. It's on the ground. The Jets say they have it, and they do. Another turnover. Ray Mickens is off and running. Was there a whistle that blew it dead? I can hear someone saying you blew the whistle.
Well, they did. I saw, well, I did not hear a whistle.
Well, there is a huge discussion at about the 33-yard line. Herm Edwards wants a touchdown.
Just another good example. Hustling to the football. The extra defender comes in, helps get the hit. That's how you get turnovers in the NFL.
The ruling on the field was that the receiver caught the ball, fumbled, recovered by the defense, first down.
So 8:09 to play.
Let's watch the play. Throw by Jay Fiedler to the outside. James McKnight, Mickens and Coleman make the hit. The ball is fumbled on the ground, and he's touched. He's laying against James McKnight. He's down.
So the Jets with the ball at the Miami 32. And guess what? Pro Player Stadium has begun to empty out. At least the Dolphin fans are on their way.
Well, Dave Wanstead might have to wait till next week to start that turnover board, because 5 turnovers to none for the Jets.
Curtis Martin taking it to the outside. Cuts it back inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Arturo Freeman saved the touchdown.
Well, you almost have to feel sorry for the Miami Dolphins defense. It's played so well all day. They have nothing to show for it. And finally, they give up a big play.
21-yard gain by Curtis Martin.
And the only other big play they gave up of it was that touchdown pass to Lavernius Coles. But outstanding job by the Miami defense today.
And it bears repeating. You know, Dave wants that. We were talking with him about it on Friday. He has had to rely a lot on young people. Travis Minor on offense. Chris Chambers on offense. Jamar Fletcher had to step in for Sam Madison.
Where we had a personal foul on number 97 of the defense for grabbing the opponent's face mask after the play was over. We'll go half the distance to the goal. First down.
The penalty is on Ernest Grant.
He was grabbing Kevin Mawai's and, you know, face mask, but Greg, it makes me think, remember Zach Thomas? He was talking about the offensive line for the Jets. He goes, they're good, they're active, they're athletic. And he goes, most of all, he goes, what I like about them, they're nasty. They play to the edge of the whistle every single time. He said, if you're standing around a pile, you better be alert, because one of those offensive linemen, they'll come by and wipe you out.
That Miami defense is colorful. Remember Jason Taylor telling us, I hate the Jets. Yeah. I love playing them, but I hate the Jets.
That's right.
First and goal. Curtis Martin hesitates, up the middle, touchdown. Marker is down inside the 5
Jets.
Holding offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's left tackle Jason Fabini.
I think he was blocking number 54, Zach Thomas, on defense. Not too often do the tackles go to the middle linebacker, but the Jets.
They had no penalties against Kansas City last week. It's their first penalty today.
I was going to say one of the reasons why the Jets have had success blocking Zach Thomas, they do it a lot of ways. The center, the tackles, wide receivers come down inside, and sometimes illegally.
So it's first and goal, this time from the 13. Curtis Martin again. Martin hit by Tim Bowens. And some pushing and shoving taking place.
See, now you can just empty the bucket if you're on either side, because you're not going to see the other team until next year. Well, unless you get in the playoffs together, which could happen too.
Santana Moss, the rookie, has yet to make a reception. And you see he is flanked to the bottom of your screen. He's in motion on second and goal. And there's a mix-up, and Vinny Testaverde goes down at the 18-yard line.
Testaverde sacked by number 99,
Jason Taylor records the sack.
Well, Richie Anderson's going to come underneath. Vinny Testaverde turned the wrong way. It was a reverse on the inside to number 20. Testaverde misses the handoff, but that's what you do. You fall on it.
Jason Taylor now has a sack in 5 of his last 6 games.
I don't think that's going to be an official sack.
No.
That'll be registered as a run play.
And Testaverde going to take a walk, let the clock run down, and then call timeout. So the Jets use their second timeout here in the second half, with 6:08 to play here in the fourth quarter. And we remind you, we will come your way Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, from Big D. The Broncos visit the Dallas Cowboys. NFL today begins at the special time of 3:30 Eastern time, and then Phil, Armin, myself, the rest of the gang will be in Dallas to bring you the Broncos and the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day here on CBS.
I think it's going to be a really good game. You know, the one reason Cowboys struggling this year, short week, you play at home. It's a tradition for them. They've always been tough. Broncos traveling. Of course, a short week for them, too.
Jay Fiedler. Well, you know, he's going to come in with his share of the criticism in the morning.
Well, anytime you don't score, you turn the football over. Because, Greg, no matter what, if it's your fault, if it's a receiver's, an interception, it's just an interception. That's how they're going to view it.
On the end around, Santana Moss is hit, shakes the tackle, and goes down at the 25-yard line. And a little bit more pushing and shoving.
Well, they got Santana Moss finally involved in the game plan. Here comes the reverse, the fake.
It's Lorenzo Bromell.
Lorenzo Bromell not fooled, still going up the field, doing what he's supposed to do. And well, Santana Moss can officially say, I've been hit.
So John Hall will attempt a field goal from 43 yards out. Kick is on its way, and it is good. Right on the money. 5:12 to play. The Jets 24, Miami nothing.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet?
5:12 to play in the fourth quarter. The Jets lead it by a score of 24-0. And the Jets are set to kick it away to Miami. And as you and I were talking during the break, Phil, it has been almost a perfect game by the Jets today.
It's like the New York Jets lined up and just said, let's play, let's do what we've been doing, and let's let Miami beat themselves. Let them make the mistake, and they've taken advantage of those mistakes. And really, since almost as soon as that interception by Aaron Glenn, Greg, all the pressure has been on Miami for them to try to create some ways to get some offense and score points.
Miami has turned the ball over each of the last 3 times it's had the football. Chris Chambers at the 5 is cut off from trying to turn the corner and is down at the 15-yard line by Nick Ferguson. That defense, which was gashed pretty good early in the year. Take a look at the turnaround these last 4 games.
So the first 6, that's to your left. Look what they've done. It was terrible. And then now the last 4 games, they've almost cut the rushing defense in half and given up 7 points a game.
Well, you know, we talked with Herman Edwards. He said the plan going into training camp was to have a team both mentally and physically fresh this time of the year.
And he feels like he is absolutely has done that. The players still feel eager to learn, to do what the coaches tell them, or what they tell them, and they feel like physically they have not worn them out with hard practices either.
Fiedler from the shotgun throws this side. It is overthrown, intended for Rondé Gadsden.
And you know, you talk about this team, Greg, you've got to give Herman Edwards so much credit for what he has done, how he's handled the players, knowing how to push them, but when to give back. And he told us a story I thought that really illustrated the other day. Beginning of this week, he says, we get on a team bus last week. I walk on, and I got some of my coaches in the back of the bus because there was no seats in the front. So I come into the team meeting. I said, men, first 2 rows on each side of the bus, it's only for coaches. That's the way it is. So then a few days later goes on. His committee of players come in to talk to him.
That pass is complete for very little reward.
So the committee of players comes in to talk. He says, okay, now when they come in to talk to me to gripe about what they don't like, I take my coaching hat off and I put my player's hat on. They tell him what's going on. He listens to it from the player's side, and he goes, they're right. I can't take all those seats away from the coaches or from the players and give to the coaches. So he goes into the meeting the next day. He says, coaches, here's the deal. You better shower fast and get on that bus, because besides me, nobody has an assigned seat on those things. And, of course, when he did that, Greg, the moral of the story is the players went crazy. They loved it because, the coaches listen to what we tell them. But of course he is, because think about it. He's getting them excited. They're getting what they want. But what does it mean in the grand scheme of things?
Nothing. But, you know, he looked to you for affirmation of what he was saying, and you said, you're exactly right. Every player, especially the veteran players, have their specified seat they like
do,
to ride.
And they just eat it up when you think they're getting their way in a situation like that.
Chad Morton from the 37-yard line shakes a tackle, trying to get outside. He's down at the 38-yard line by Tommy Hendricks. There is a marker down on the field.
See, Herman Edwards was losing like a little teeny tiny battle there, but he's winning the war. And there is give and take. It's not always exactly what the head coach says. You got to give the players a little bit of freedom. And all successful coaches do it. Well, the New York Jets will decline it.
Here's Larry Nemmers.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the kicking team, number 21, who went out of bounds during the play and failed to return immediately. Penalty is declined. First down, Jets.
The penalty is on Miami's Terry Cousin, and we check in with Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, talking about Herm Edwards, the other thing that struck me is just sort of the difference with him is in the details. And General Manager Terry Bradway telling us last night this story about Herm and his son. Herm tells his son to go out and clean the garage, and his son is out there sweeping away and makes a nice big pile, picks it all up, says, Dad, I'm finished. Herm goes out, takes one look. First place he looks is the four corners of the garage, notices that they hadn't been cleaned. Those were the details that he was looking for. He said, son, you're not done. And it's the same kind of thing Herm said that his father, Herm Sr., had taught him, not surprisingly, a master sergeant in the Army. Greg?
Thanks, Armin. Yeah, clean the corners, whatever you do. Penalty marker on the play. We are in the final 3:42 of this game.
Well, it is. This game, there's so many good players. There's a lot of good coaches, but it really does come down to the finest details about winning and losing.
Defense, number 90, offside. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And one other thing that Herm Edwards has been preaching to his players, he said, we have basically put ourselves into a situation where we can now handle our own business the rest of this season. And he says the problem with the Jets a year ago is they couldn't finish. And go back to that theme that Armin heard all of the Jet players talking about coming out of the locker room at halftime. Finish.
Yeah, finish what we've started here. And, you know, so many things you could say about the Jets because, Greg, I live up in the New York area, and I think it has been a tremendous turnaround. They survived a lot of bad play, and we're 3-3. And now for 4 straight games, they have done a lot of good things as a football team.
This is Lamont Jordan, and Jordan with running room across midfield and into Miami territory for a first down.
Well, you know, Lamont Jordan, it's not even fair if you're a defender. You got to tackle this guy late in the game when you're down 24-0, and you just want to get off the field. And Lamont Jordan, he's looking for some action. You can just tell by looking at him and watching him run that he is tough, strong, and he has got to be hard to bring down.
It's a young man who went to Maryland his junior year against Virginia. He's carried 37 times for 306 yards and 3 touchdowns. The pitch to Jordan. Runs over a tackler and has enough for a first down inside the 40.
Well, what a nice backup to have. Nowadays, you almost have to be too deep at the running back position, and this says it all. Lamont Jordan, look at that body. Jamar Fletcher coming up, goes low.
Ouch.
Not even a chance.
And Curtis Martin told us last night he appreciates having him around. Before his touchdown run against Kansas City last week, he had come off the field, was able to get a breather for 2 plays, came in and ran it into the end zone.
That's right. It keeps Curtis Martin fresh, and Greg, you could see the face of Curtis Martin having a good laugh about Lamont Jordan running over Fletcher.
And penalty markers fly as Jordan proves to be another tough tackle at the 38-yard line. And that'll stop the clock at 2:05. And this is on Miami.
Defense, number 96, lined up in the neutral zone. It's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Tackle, the penalty is on David Bowens. This is a Miami team that has won 3 straight and will now have to regroup as they fall to 6-3 while the Jets take over the division lead at 7-3. Testaverde looking to the sideline and goes back to the huddle, and this we trust will be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Lamont Jordan again, dancing inside and through tacklers inside the 25-yard line for a first down, and with that we take our 2-minute warning. 24-0 Jets. Wannstedt looking at the prospect of the Dolphins being shut out at home for the first time in 31 years. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, a happy Herm Edwards. And you see that 7-3 record, their best start since '86. How about the fact that they are going to go 5-0 on the road? They've won at New England, at Buffalo, at Carolina, and at New Orleans.
Really just a dominant performance by the Jets. And, you know, Greg, the one thing is games like this really destroy your offensive stats. You know, it's just the Jets got nothing really in the total yardage, or receivers didn't have big days, no big yards running by the running backs. Like the Jets, 164 yards. But it doesn't tell the truth. The Jets' offense did exactly what it was supposed to do. Think back. They pick up a big third down when it's 7-0. Then Testaverde throws the big pass to make it 14-0. That was so timely, that dictated the rest of the game. That made the Miami Dolphins have to come and play. They made the mistakes because of that.
And with the prospect here of the Jets winning the 8th straight meeting between these two teams, we go back to Zach Thomas and his comments earlier this year, how he enraged the Jets and Jet fans by saying that they weren't that good. Zach Thomas believed that the Dolphins were the better team that day. I think after today's performance, he would concede that the Jets were the better team here this afternoon.
Well, he thinks the Jets were a much better team this time getting ready to play than they were the last time they played them.
With that, the Jets will go home, owners of first place in the AFC East. They have beaten the Miami Dolphins for the 8th straight time and hand the Dolphins their first shutout at home since October of 1970. Vinny Testaverde walks off the field, now 6-0 against Miami as a New York Jet. Our final score, the Jets 24 and Miami nothing. For Phil Simms and Armin Katayan, Greg Gumbel saying so long from Miami. We'll be sending you off to Jim Nantz and Company in New York for the Subway postgame show. It comes your way right after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
I'll put a spell on you. Because